it. There's my nail pillow.
Nail pillow right here. It was
Didn't that guy get in trouble? The my
my
pillow guy.
I don't know if he got in trouble, but I think he was like he was advocating for Trump. Is that it?
Oh, really?
It was something along those lines.
Racist ass pillow.
Racist ass pillow.
Mic situated here. Okay. All right. Wes, you want to bring us in?
Sure.
This morning?
I will. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Thicc Boys podcast. This is episode 9?
8.
This is episode 8. And we actually have a very special episode today.
Extra thick.
It's extra thick because we have our very first guest. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Aaron?
My name's Aaron. I'm the youngest thick boy. I guess not as thick boy, but
not as thick.
What do we call him? Is the relatively thin boy?
Relatively thick.
Yeah, that's about it.
Aaron's going to join us this morning and give his insight on some of the topics that we discuss, and we'll just have a grand old time. I actually wanted to start off
fashionably late too.
Fashionably late.
Yeah, well, by an hour. I wanted to start off this morning. The three of us, we've all played Pokemon.
Agreed. Yes.
And I think it was like Mario just had its 35th birthday.
Wow.
Anniversary, whatever you want to call it. 35 fucking years. And I think Pokemon's like got to be coming in on like the 20s.
Let's see.
It's been around for a minute.
Well, we had the Game Boys with the Pokemon games when we lived in
the log cabin.
And we moved when I was in second grade, so I'd have been 9. So it was like 98 when we moved, 99.
So it's over 20 years.
Yeah, it's over 20 years old.
Well,
and that was after it came to the U.S. There's no telling how long it was in Japan.
Was it in Japan for a little while first?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it would be.
I actually still have that Pokemon Blue and a Game Boy Color in my nightstand.
Really?
Oh, yeah, the one that I gave you. Is that the one you can't save over the pile?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
But you know why that is, don't you? It's because they have those cartridges, because there was no memory on the Game Boy itself or in the cartridge. It had a little battery inside that kept the game on, and that's how it worked.
Really?
Yeah, and those batteries were supposed to last like 19 years, and they did.
Yeah.
So after a certain amount of time, it just couldn't save anymore, because when you turn the Game Boy off, the battery dies.
The battery
doesn't do anything.
Interesting that they would choose to go that route instead of like put some type of like small memory inside of it.
Yeah, because how much could a Pokemon save file be?
It
like a
couldn't
couple
be very
kilobytes?
big. Yeah, it couldn't be very big.
Yeah, they could. I feel like storage.
It's not storing graphics or anything. It's just storing data.
Yeah. Well, they could have put it in the Game Boy itself, right?
Yeah.
I don't really know how all that works, but like maybe you could just put one in the cartridge itself. But point is, after this many years, you got to start running out of ideas, right?
You would think.
So what I've done...
Ask the Sonic team.
Yeah. So what I've done is I have made a list of 14 Pokemon. Some are real, some are not. And I'm going to give you their names.
Wasn't one of them like a garbage bag?
Well, let's not give too much away. I'm going to give you their names and a description. You have to tell me which one you think is the Pokemon, which one is the imposter. The imposter-mon, I guess.
Imposter-mon. That sounds like some type of shitty like Netflix.
Or like, was it Digimon was the other one that tried to...
Digimon.
Yeah, it usually come on after too, and I'm not watching
it.
Yeah,
who the fuck's watching Digimon? Yeah. All right, our first one. Hoopa Unbound. A gray and pink dragon/bull with no arms and 5 hands. Or Trubbish, a garbage bag.
I'm gonna go with Trubbish on that one.
Aaron already called that one. Okay. I'll tell you at the end. Pumpkaboo, a spooky pumpkin. Or Burmy, A worm that covers itself in shit on the ground.
Pumpkaboo sounds like something sexual.
Like, I'm gonna give you a pumpkaboo.
Man, bitch gave me a pumpkaboo.
The first one.
Pumpkaboo?
Yeah.
What about you?
What was the second one? Some worm?
Burmy. A worm that covers itself with shit that's on the ground.
That's not. I'll go with that one.
You want to go with Burmy?
Yeah.
Okay. The next two. Mega Mawile, a creature with a giant toothy tumor on its head. Or Ludicolo, a duck/plant thing that wears a sombrero.
That
I'm gonna go
one.
with the second one,
I
that
think
one,
I've
too.
seen that one before.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
So you're going to go with the sombrero
Yeah.
duck plant?
Sombrero duck. Yeah.
All right. Spoink, half pig, half spring. Or Gothorita, a tiny goth person.
That's the first one.
You're going to go with Spoink?
Yeah, spoink.
Okay. Clink. 2 gears. Or Pineco, a pine cone.
I'm gonna go with the pine cone.
You want to go pine cone?
I think it's Clink.
You think it's Clink?
Yeah, I think it's Clink.
All right. Love disc, a heart-shaped fish. Or Vanillite, a vanilla ice cream cone.
Vanillite. That sounds like some type of like.
like a sugar-free. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say it sounds like somebody that like belongs in a cult. Like I'm a Vanillite.
It's like people they're like morally opposed to like the chocolate ice cream and like the strawberry ice cream.
They're like extremists.
They see like the Neapolitan ice cream in the fridge and they're like, heresy.
Can you read them again one more time?
Love disc, a heart-shaped fish. Or Vanillite, a vanilla ice cream cone.
I'm gonna go with that fish thing.
Fish thing?
Both of them are pretty outlandish, so I guess I'll go with the second one.
You want Vanillite?
Yeah, I guess I'll go with Vanillite.
Okay. Klefki. It's a keyring. Or Rotom. He can turn into different appliances.
The second one's too outlandish. I'm going with the first.
You're going to go with the keyring
Yeah.
Pokemon?
Yeah, I'll go with Clef Chin.
Clefchin? All right. So, here's the thing. They're all Pokemon.
Oh, wow.
All of these stupid things. Like, Trubbish, for instance, is a garbage bag. He turns into Garbodor,
Garbodor.
which is a bigger trash bag.
He turns into like a garbage truck.
What was the other one? Oh, yeah. Clink, the 2 gears, turns into Clang, which is a gear and a bigger gear. And then he turns into Kling Clang, which is
3 years?
3 gears.
Isn't that kind of what they did with Magnemite?
Yeah, pretty much. Vanillite turns into a double scooped ice cream cone.
Oh.
And then turns into a bigger double scoop ice cream. They didn't even go with like a 3 scoop. They just make them bigger.
If I was a Pokemon trainer, I'd just take some extra ice cream and put it on top of it.
Yeah, like no one's gonna know. Yeah, and then Rotom was the one that can turn into different appliances. I didn't really look into that one too much, but he can like turn into a washing machine or a lawnmower or like a ceiling fan, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
It's
So-
like whatever you need around the house.
Yeah.
Like,
So they're really just like scraping the bottom of the barrel with ideas.
I feel like, I don't know, after Gen 1, they should have really just left it alone.
Yeah. Well, not not all of them in Gen 1 were winners.
Yeah, true.
I mean, like you said, what was it? Magnetite?
Yeah,
He
Magnetite.
was just like a screwball with like magnets on either end of him.
Well, to be fair, I think Voltorb, when he evolved, was just a bigger ball.
Yeah, and they swapped
Yeah.
the colors.
Yeah, and it was the Electrode?
Yeah,
He-
Electrode.
They just turned him upside down.
Yeah.
His colors were
Yeah.
switched. Yeah. Like he rolled over and the trainer's like, oh shit, he evolved.
Like
Yeah.
as a kid, though, you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah. I don't know why those games were I mean, when I was a kid, I put countless hours into those games.
Oh yeah.
But like now it's like that could not hold my attention
No.
anymore. And I don't know if maybe it's because like maybe the novelty wore off or whatever. But I feel like as a kid, there's not enough happening and it was so grindy,
Oh yeah.
but it was super popular with kids.
Yeah.
And it must have just been the characters, right? You know, the funny little characters, you know. This
I mean, I
guy's
would
a-
assume. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that like you were working towards something, right? So like,
Yeah, but doesn't that seem like something that would appeal more to an adult? A lot of the themes of Pokemon seem like they would appeal more to an older audience. But the gameplay itself doesn't seem like it would capture a kid's attention.
as opposed to like was like Animal Crossing or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it really depends.
And I don't know, maybe kids are different now, but like when you think like the games that kids play now is fucking Fortnite.
Yeah.
Of course, I played Fortnite like when it was in like season 1 or 2, and that was really before it kind of had like the stigma attached to it that it was like a little kid game.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you heard the song where that kid?
Yeah, Emily showed me that. He's like on TikTok or something.
Yeah.
Emily showed it to me.
Do you know about he did a cover of some pop song. It's like a little kid. He did a whole cover of some pop song, but he changed all the lyrics and everything to be like about Fortnite.
Those are two things that I don't pay attention to: is pop music and small children.
You have a 3-year-old daughter. You should,
I pay attention to her.
but yeah,
You become even more out of touch when you become a parent.
it's just I don't know. Like the same thing happened to Minecraft. It just got taken over by kids.
Yeah, true.
And like when I first played Minecraft was back in 2011 when they released the beta for free, and it was like a really rudimentary, stripped down version of what it is now. But yeah, it's just like you go on YouTube or whatever and you type in Minecraft or
Yeah, it's probably
Fortnite,
all kids.
it's just all children.
Yeah.
And I just don't know why it appeals to them. So
They have
much.
like a competitive Minecraft scene on like Twitch or whatever. But how do you?
What do you
how
mean
do
competitive Minecraft?
Like,
How do you be competitive at Minecraft?
I don't get.
Is it
that,
like a
but-
game mode?
I mean, I guess I never.
It
watched
can't just
any
be
of
like
it, but-
regular survival mode because then that's just speed runs.
Maybe it was like a VR for Minecraft.
Battle rifle. I think actually Minecraft was the first one to have like a battle royale mode. I think
I remember reading that somewhere.
Yeah. And then PUBG came along, which was a mod of a game that was already a mod of another game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know the battle royale thing. Just that.
It's run its course now.
I would say that it's run its course. I'd say that it ran its course a while ago.
Yeah.
But like, take for instance Fortnite at the peak of its popularity. They had that tournament. They held a tournament somewhere, and I'm pretty sure the grand prize for coming in first place was $30 million.
Good God.
Yeah, I think like some like 16-year-old won it too.
I think it was either 3 or 30. I feel like it was 30 million.
It had some 3 in it.
Either way, I mean, for playing a video game,
Yeah.
like where was that shit when I was a kid? Not that I was good enough to fucking win $3 million, but
I could lie to myself.
yeah. It's like, when we were kids, video games was a hobby, and now it's like,
Something you make money at.
yeah, something you make a fuckload of money at.
Like it's a business for certain people.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I play video games, I don't want it to be a business. Like that's not why I'm here. This isn't why I'm doing this with my free time.
Yeah, because then you'd have to find another hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Like I did this because it wasn't work. Now
yeah.
it's work.
Yeah, now it's work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun at all.
I don't know. Just going back to that kid that did the song or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that the internet wasn't as prevalent when I was a kid.
Oh God. Yeah.
It is now. Because some of the shit that I did, I would have recorded it and uploaded it to the internet. And I mean that, that's up there forever. And it went viral, so everybody's gonna remember it.
Yeah.
And like he's gonna be like 25 and like at his job.
Yeah.
And somebody's gonna be like, somebody's gonna come around there and just like singing the song to him.
Yeah.
He's never gonna escape it.
Yeah. They're gonna like what's that stupid dance, flossing or whatever?
Oh yeah,
Like people are just gonna like see him on the road and be like, it's gonna like, oh god damn it.
If he's not in middle school yet, by the time he gets to middle school,
Oh, that's gonna be
it's
hell.
gonna be hell.
Oh yeah.
That poor kid.
That's gonna. I just judging by his
Those
voice.
8th graders are gonna eat him alive.
Yeah, judging by his voice, I'm thinking he's probably like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
He's real young. The funniest part to me is like it sounds like he did it all in one take.
There's like no revisions. He's just like,
Yeah.
he's like, we're gonna do it. Fuck it, let's do it live.
Because there's a part where he like stumbles over his words. The line is like, "We could be cool pro Fortnite gamers,"
Yeah.
and then he like goes to repeat that line, and he goes, "We could be cool pro." He just kind of like stumbles a little bit, and then he's just like, "Fuck it," and just goes back into the chorus.
It's like the show must go on.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's part of that whole. It's part of. Well, I don't know. I don't want to say it's part of cringe culture, because I feel like people are genuinely like it.
It's so odd because there's so much cringe stuff now.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, I can't be the only one, and like it's all of these things have like massive like views and like likes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, how?
Well, I think it's like that morbid curiosity in it. Like it's bad.
I just
but you
assume
gotta
that it's
watch
like
it.
the other generation like doing shit that I don't understand.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say that I like cringe stuff, but
I'm not enjoying it while
I'm not.
watching
Well, I
it.
don't think the point is to enjoy it. I think if you enjoy it, that's cringy. You know what I mean?
I don't like watching cringy stuff with like other people.
Oh
I
yeah,
get, like
but-
secondhand embarrassment.
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
When it's just me, I laugh my
When it's
ass
by
off.
yourself, it's not so bad.
Because I'm like, what a fucking doofus.
Like the guy that did he did the Minecraft video, but it was like him sitting on his couch with Inspector Gadget. Do you remember showing me that?
It's like supposed to like a Minecraft show for like little kids or something.
I don't know if it was a show, but it was
He like come out as like he ended up being like a child molester or something.
Whoa, that took a turn.
Yeah, he was doing some real
Oh no.
weird shit.
Yeah.
No, he posted a picture of his dick on Twitter. That's what it was.
Why on Twitter?
Well, because he had a 12-inch dick. He had a big old flopping hog.
Then why was he doing Minecraft videos?
With Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, so he like I'm pretty sure that
That's a huge claim I made about him too.
you might have just been thinking about somebody else.
I'm just going to throw this out here.
Yeah, him and Jared from Subway.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know anything about his channel other than that video. And it was like him sitting on his couch and he was playing Minecraft on his iPad, and then like he had like just like a picture of Inspector Gadget like laid over the video, and he was doing an Inspector Gadget voice, but I don't know what Inspector Gadget sounds like. So he like
Yeah, it could be any voice.
it was like some nasally voice. But the line that everybody loves is he goes, "I love playing Minecraft. You can build brown bricks in Minecraft." And that was like Inspector Gadget or whatever. And that line is just so fucking funny. And it kind of became a meme or whatever. And he pulled that video down and eventually re-uploaded it. He just embraced it. He was like, fuck it. That was like my most popular video ever. I'm putting it back up.
It's like, that's what you're embarrassed by?
Yeah.
Not the fact that you posted a picture of your fucking schlong on Twitter.
Shit, if I had a 12-inch dick, I wouldn't be embarrassed. I'd be very proud of that thing. Grew it myself.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be putting it on Twitter.
No, I wouldn't be putting it on Twitter. No. But,
Gotta
the
put it on Facebook so it gets more people get mad at it.
you'll get fact checked.
Get fact checked. Yeah, his dick's really not that long.
It's a camera trick.
Missing information.
Missing context. So while we're
Like,
on
that's
this,
actually a small novelty ruler.
yeah. So while we're talking about cringe stuff, what's the worst video you've seen on the internet? Well, let's break it down by category. We'll go to 3 categories. What's the worst cringe thing you've ever seen?
Mm-hmm.
What's the worst thing you've ever seen as far as like gore?
Yeah.
And what's the grossest thing you've ever seen? I've already got my gross one.
Cringe. Anything that anybody posts from TikTok, any of it. Like all like the dances and like the
Really?
like
There's not like one like the worst one.
Listen, like the older I get, the more I'm like, these stupid fucking kids.
It's just all bad. All of it's
all
bad.
all the time. I'm like, oh my God, what am I turning into?
For me, the worst cringe video is "Hi, I'm Charmander."
I feel like I vaguely remember that.
It's like some guy, and he's role playing like as though he just met someone, and he's introducing himself as Charmander. And he's like the way he's acting in front of the camera. He's like 17, so it's not like even a little kid doing it. It's just it's sad. It's honestly just sad.
I guess it's hard for me because when I think about like YouTube, I think about like the early days of YouTube. Like I don't think of YouTube as like the past 3 years YouTube. You know what I mean?
For me,
does that make sense?
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying. But like for me, like early days of YouTube is like, well, I mean, it just all depends on what you were watching at that time. So for me, it was like RB and the Chief, and like Machinima stuff, and
that Badger song.
Yeah,
it was the Badger song.
Weebles, was that the name of that the group that did stuff like that? Because they did that one, and then they did Narwhal and Amazing Horse.
It was like that, like Charlie the Unicorn or whatever.
Yeah. Which all that stuff is very cringy today.
Yeah.
Because you look back on it, you're like, why did I think this was funny?
Yeah.
I thought I fucking laughed like a hyena when I watched this as a kid, but like now it's like, oh. And like I'm just thinking about that kid that did that Fortnite song is going to have the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be like, oh my God, why did I do that?
Yeah.
It's like, thank God, like, the shit we did as kids isn't posted all over the internet.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I made Facebook when I was in 9th grade, which was way too early to do that anyway. And I've scrolled like all the way through until like as far as it'll go back to like, what was I, 2008 or something. And I would like look at a couple of
You'd have been in like 7th grade, wouldn't you? Because 2008, I would have been.
Well, maybe
2008, I graduated.
No, so 2009 because I did it in 9th grade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
like as
you
soon as
came
you
to
left
high school
high school,
after.
I came in.
Yeah.
And like I looked at like a couple of the first things I ever posted. And I was like, ugh, God.
Yeah, like the Facebook memories or whatever.
Yeah, it's like some memory from like 8 years ago come up and you're like,
And I'm really glad that like
who was that person?
I'm really glad that like my MySpace account isn't like available anymore. I deleted it.
I don't know how to delete that. I
can't delete mine. I would love to delete mine, but I don't know the password or the like. So it's just there for all eternity. It's a monolith of cringe. I'm sure it's bad. I'm sure it's really bad. If my 2008 Facebook posts are any indication.
As far as like a cringy video goes, though, I can't like the latest cringy video is the one I tried to tell you about.
Oh, with
I'm not gonna say his name, but
it's somebody that we know. His wife was singing some. Those are the karaoke app.
It's like a karaoke app where you can like sing like a duet with the actual singer.
No.
God, it's bad.
I need to go find that.
And she's singing it like she's actually doing really good.
Oh, like she thinks she's.
Oh, like yeah.
Oh, she's like doing all like the head motions and.
Yeah, especially at the end, she does like she like looks down and then like looks back at the camera and does this smile, and I was like, okay, it's just like topped it off.
Like the little cringy cherry on top.
Yes.
And this is an adult woman.
Yeah, like 50s. Somebody who should know better.
For me, the worst gory video I ever saw was probably One Man, One Jar. I've seen lots of gore, but something about that one, just the amount of blood.
No, the one where the dude chops his sack off and rolls the nut out and smashes it with the blunt end of the axe. That's the worst one.
I don't know. One Man, One Jar gets me. Because I don't know.
I was gonna go with the Paralympics because wasn't there like a few people and like somebody chopped his dick off? Like imagine coming in second.
You're just like sitting there with no dick. You're like, why didn't I think of that?
Oh man.
Old dickless Dave over here.
Here's as far as I'm concerned, first and second, they're both equally as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine being the schmuck that came in third.
Oh my god. So maybe that could roll into the same one as the gross category, but for me, the actual grossest video I've ever seen it's this video of a gorilla, and he. I'm gonna gag just talking about this. But he's pooping, and he reaches behind and he grabs his green turd with his hand and pulls it out, and then takes a bite of it. Oh my god! Oh god! I can't think about it. I gotta get it out of my head.
Like grab it with two fingers like this.
Oh Jesus Christ! I just can't do poop stuff, and that one
wrap his fist around his. Get the fuck out!
You ever
so
tried to
fucking gross.
pull your own shit out of your ass?
Oh my god! Oh,
I can't watch anything with like when people pop pimples and shit. I can't watch that.
I don't understand that fascination.
I don't either.
That's the grossest thing in the world to me.
Especially when they pull out like a big chunky blackhead and it's got like a custardy tail on the end of it. I don't get that. There was a TV show, wasn't there?
Yeah,
Dr. Pimple Popper?
Yeah. It's got like a burnt end.
She like
Burnt end.
she like lances stuff. Like
Oh.
Allison's watched it before, and I'm like, ugh, I can't. The grossest thing I've ever watched. I have to go in the way back machine, but one of them everybody knows about is pretty gross. It's 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Yeah.
That one's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's like,
For some reason, that one, even given the content,
yeah.
doesn't get me as bad as the gorilla one.
And then there's another one.
Maybe because his turd was green.
Ugh.
He's not eating right.
Yeah. And then another one is it's called Church of Fudge.
Oh,
Have you seen
yes.
Church of Fudge?
Yes, I remember Church of Fudge.
And then there used to be another website. It was called like trackmyphone.org or something like that. And like you could get somebody. What you'd do is you'd say, "Oh yeah, go to this website," and then it was like way back in the day.
Yeah.
Like back in like 2007.
Yeah.
And it was like type in your phone number and it'll show you exactly where it is on the map.
Yeah.
And so it just like zooms in like this random like cul-de-sac or whatever. So like most people live in like neighborhoods like that, right? Mm-hmm. And then they'd be like, oh shit, and then all of a sudden that meat spin video would start playing.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, oh god damn it.
Yeah, I forgot about Meat Spin. There was Lemon Party.
Yeah, Lemon Party.
Blue Waffle.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
Special Fried Rice.
I haven't seen that one.
I'm pretty sure it's just a herpes dick.
Ugh.
Dude, the Blue Waffle one was like so big. Like,
Yeah, it was a big one.
I think that was about 9th grade for me too. Everybody was like,
Yeah, I was in high school when that one was
everybody's like, oh,
popular.
you seen Blue Waffle? I'm like, no.
It's just a diseased vagina.
Ugh.
But it's got to be like Photoshop. There's no way.
I don't know, man.
You even let it get that bad.
You're just like ignoring it. Like, oh, it'll go away.
Yeah.
It'll go away. It's
Ugh.
like a splinter.
Ugh.
You had Silly Hand. You remember Silly Hand?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Silly Hand was like a picture of a guy's hand that it looked like he put it in a paper shredder.
Oh, ugh.
He just had like you ever seen like they'll take a potato and they'll spiral it?
Yeah.
This is what his hand looked like.
Ugh. How would you even manage to do that?
I don't know. That one dude cut his balls out and smashed them.
True. I don't put anything past anyone anymore.
There was Mr. Hands. Do you remember Mr. Hands?
Mm-mm.
That dude gets fucked in the ass by a horse.
Oh, God.
And it kills him.
I've never seen the video, but I've heard people talk about it.
So, maybe that's not as bad as doing a Fortnite song and uploading that, right?
I don't know. The internet was a different place 15 years ago.
Yeah, it was like a lawless wasteland. It really was like the Wild West. I mean,
And there wasn't any if you weren't sure what a video was at the time, there wasn't any type of context that was included in it.
Yeah.
And there wasn't any type of on YouTube you can kind of put your mouse cursor over a video and it'll play a little clip of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was none of that either.
There was none of that back then. I don't even know if you had thumbnails back then.
I don't think so either.
You just had to go off the title.
Yeah, it was just
And that could have been a ball-faced lie.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be something it'd be like something you find on LimeWire. It'd be like jackass number 2.exe.
Yeah. That guy, I'm sure that file extension is nothing to worry about. Yeah, just, the common knowledge that people have now about browsing the internet was not... I mean, when it first came out, nobody fucking knew what they were doing. No. That's why people were getting viruses left and right.
No.
And, of course, the machines back then weren't as, protected as they are now.
Yeah, right? Because, there wasn't, Windows comes with, Windows Defender now. So, you get that, and you don't have to put anything else on it.
Yeah,
where,
back in the day...
There's
no reason to, get Norton or,
where, back in the day, you had to get, McAfee or Norton... Or
all they did was eat all your RAM, slow your computer down.
AVG or whatever it is.
Yeah. Speaking of slowing down computers, do you remember when Mom got Magic Jack?
I do remember.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
Walmart's
Wi-Fi or some.
It was like it was like a $20 phone line.
Yeah.
Or a home phone, and you just plugged it into your computer and it worked off your internet.
Yeah.
But it just sucked up all the bandwidth for itself.
No.
And as long as that thing was plugged in, you weren't doing nothing on the internet. I remember because she got it and plugged it in, and it destroyed our internet, and then she fucking blamed RuneScape for it.
RuneScape.
First of all, you leave fucking RuneScape out of this.
Yeah. Man, RuneScape was a gem.
I remember when I found that game, it was on a Miniclip.
Yeah, because Miniclip was a Flash game website. And then on the right-hand side, it was their top 10 games. Yeah. And at the top was RuneScape, which was funny because that wasn't a Miniclip game and it wasn't a Flash game. It just redirected you to RuneScape's website.
RuneScape's website. Yeah.
So I think the Jagex probably paid for that.
Probably.
I think it's funny, when I was little, though, and I'd go to get on it, I would go to Miniclip every single time.
Yeah,
and then
I did too.
I would never go to RuneScape.com.
Yeah, it's just how you get there. It's like... It'd be like if you wanted to go to McDonald's, so you went to the Walmart that had the McDonald's in it.
Yeah. Why don't you just go to a real McDonald's?
Yeah. RuneScape was one of those games that I wish that I could play again for the first time. You know what I mean? Without knowing what I know now about it, and kind of the way things work, because a lot of the fun was the mystery of everything, and figuring out things. And
that back then too, that's when World of Warcraft and some of the other ones had started to get big, and that was really the only one that you could play for free, right?
Yeah, and it was totally free.
Yeah,
and if you consider the amount of content that the free version has, I mean it was enough to last you for a year, 2 years.
Oh yeah.
And then of course the members' content was fucking 90% of that whole game.
Yeah.
But the 10% that was free, there was a lot there. There was a lot you could do.
Yeah. And the thing I liked about that too is that even if you didn't have the members content, you could still get all of the things that you would normally get, even if you had the members content. There were some things with the members content that you could get, but for the most part, most of the items and stuff, or leveling up, you weren't impeded by the fact that you didn't have a members content.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no level cap or anything.
Yeah.
It was much easier to level up and stuff if you were a member, but you could definitely do it in free to play.
Yeah.
But it was also kind of that thing where again, it was a lawless wasteland. There was no common knowledge about the game. So if you were a little kid like we were, you're prone to getting scammed, or why can't I defeat this spider that's 10 levels more than me?
Yeah.
I'm a man and he's a spider.
Yeah.
The amount of
cows that I killed that game.
It's the first whole week, all I did was stand in this field and kill cows. This is awesome.
I don't know why that game struck a chord with me so much. Maybe because it was free and it was, just it was like an actual game.
Yeah.
Because the other free games on the internet were things like, you might have like some Flash Tetris or a Flash game where you jump over a block. It's just like basic coding and stuff.
Or
like
you
that.
shoot a kitten out of a cannon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, kitten cannon.
Yeah, kitten cannon. Yeah, I think a lot of that too is that up until that point, like I don't think we'd really played any games with other people in them, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So that was part of the novelty, was like the fact that you could interact with other people.
Yeah,
that was a really good time for gaming too. That was like Halo 2.
Yeah, all around that.
You get
same
tired
era.
of that, and I'm just gonna play some RuneScape.
Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff coming out back then.
Yeah, you had like Halo 2, Gears 2.
Mm-hmm.
You had a lot of good games that were coming out at that time.
That era too was like all those developers were still kind of finding their footing.
Mm-hmm.
So they were still experimenting with different ideas. So there was a lot of different stuff out there.
Yeah.
Nowadays, not considering like indie developers and stuff like that, everything from like big publishers kind of feels very samey.
Yeah.
Because they know, like, okay, this sells, just keep making this until it doesn't sell anymore and then make something else.
It's like every Cartoon Network show now. It's like,
yeah, they all look the same. It's like they found this formula that works, and then they won't deviate from it at all. But like, especially like PS2 and GameCube era. PS2, I probably had like 50 games for the PS2, and none of them were alike in any way.
Mm-mm.
They were all very, very different. But almost everything now is either a shooter or not, or it's just so much of it is shooter and arena shooters and like battle royale and stuff like that. I kind of feel like I miss the time when developers were like, this might be a fun idea, let's try this.
Well, I mean, that's the thing too, right? Is like you see like some of these games that pop up, they get like they get over super well. Like you see like Among Us and like Fall Guys, and like they're not the same as like the rest of these games that you see on platforms, right?
Yeah.
So it's different, and I think that's why a lot of people like them.
Because it is different.
Because it's different.
It's like a breath of fresh air. Like, oh, this isn't Call of Duty number 50.
No.
This is something new.
Exactly.
And, you consider Among Us, for one, is a very simple game.
Yeah, it's not difficult.
It's it doesn't have like AAA graphics or voice acting or anything. It's a very simple, rudimentary game. But the gameplay loop is fun.
Yeah.
And that's really all you got to have. If the game is fun, people will play it. But if the game looks great, sounds great, and all this, that, and the other, but it isn't fun, well, what do you do? Nobody's going to play it.
Well, Among Us is actually kind of interesting because I don't think it would work as well if it was in like a realistic environment, right? So like if it was like in a 3D environment where you had to like walk around and it looked like a Call of Duty game,
like it was made in like Unity or something like that, yeah.
Like, right, so part of it being like kind of cartoonish and everything
is part of the charm.
Is part of the charm to it, right?
It's only a matter of time before like Treyarch gets their hands on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they'll have like an Among Us mode in like Call of Duty.
Yeah,
Call of Duty Black Ops Among Us.
And then that's going to be a big BR.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that anytime you see like some of these small indie developers get real big, I think a lot of it's because everybody's kind of tired of playing the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah. And movies have kind of gone the same way too.
Oh, especially with like superhero movies and everything. All the Marvel
superhero movies especially. Yeah.
It's just I've kind of gotten like fatigued. Like I don't want to watch
Yeah, like
anymore.
superhero fatigue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the last 10 years of movies, I've just been watching superhero movies.
Yeah.
Every now and then something good will come along. Like, well, I don't know if Joker really counts as a superhero
that wasn't
movie.
really a superhero movie. It was pretty much just like you watching a man descend into madness.
In its own right, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Like, if you took, like, the Joker theme away from it, it would still be a good movie.
Oh, yeah.
it would still stand on its own.
Well, the movie wasn't really about Gotham. It was about him, right? And like you kind of watched him kind of become more and more disconnected.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, it's like it was almost like that movie really didn't even need to be a DC movie.
No, that could have been a normal movie.
Yeah, it didn't have to exist in that universe. I mean, it's cool that it did.
No,
but it didn't have to.
No,
it didn't really. It didn't rely on the fact that it was okay. This is the Joker, and
right. And that's what makes it good.
There's Batman and everything. Yeah, it didn't rely on that. That was just like that was the paint that was on it.
Yeah.
But the actual movie itself, the script and the writing and everything, was all solid.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said. It doesn't have to, if it looks good, but it's not fun,
no,
then no one's going to care.
That's the thing, too, is like they don't insult your intelligence when you sit down
right, yeah.
in the theater. Like, not everything's like spoon-fed to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I miss good writing.
No. I don't know what happened. I think now it's just like a conglomeration of people. Mm-hmm. They like sit down and they're like, well, we have to dumb this down for the general audience.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. So a lot of stuff is like that. They try to appeal to everybody, right? They try to appeal to like the largest audience that they can. And when you do that, you just end up making nobody happy.
Yeah.
Or you have like this, just 50% all across the board. It doesn't really excel in any one area.
Yeah.
And it's just boring.
Then everybody goes, that was a forgettable movie.
Yeah.
Like everybody goes, it wasn't awful, but it wasn't good either.
I wonder if we'll ever get to a point where artificial intelligence will make all our entertainment for us.
Maybe. I mean, who knows?
Because, like, have you ever watched those videos on YouTube where...
What if they made like just a compilation of shit you like?
Yeah, it's just
like
here's all the things you enjoy.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's just like a dopamine hit the entire time.
Run dopamine.exe. Yeah. Show me everything I like. But like, you ever see those videos on YouTube where they'll take like an AI and they'll have it they'll feed it like a little bit of information, like the first like 30 seconds of a song or whatever, and then it'll try to create the rest of the song, just based on what it knows or what it's learned. There's a lot of those. Like there's one with Smash Mouth, and they do it 5 different times. They'll give it like the first couple bars of like the intro, and then let the AI take it, and of course it just turns into madness because the computer, is a mathematical thing, it's not a creative thing. Yeah. But there's one like version of it where they start out on the verse, and then the computer like turns into Snoop Dogg. It like turns it into like a rap song almost. It's just really cool to see it because it takes it in a direction that only a computer could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like mathematically it makes sense for it to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Smash Mouth featuring Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like when people worry about like AI taking over, I'm like, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Yeah. Have you learned what it thinks? Have you seen what it thinks music is?
Yeah. It would have a really hard time with like any 12-foot ninja song.
Yeah.
Throw it for a loop and be like, I don't know what to do with this. Or like, did you ever see where it was like Microsoft had the AI on Twitter and everybody kept like...
Tay, was it? Tay?
Yeah, Tay.
Yeah, like immediately, it was like alive for like 30 minutes and immediately became racist. It was like the first thing.
People kept feeding it shit like that.
It learned from Twitter and it became racist. How about that?
Yeah.
Funny how that works.
About that?
I love getting on Twitter, but it's a fucking cesspool.
Yeah, it's a fucking wasteland.
It's like really bad takes and
just there's hot takes everywhere.
People screaming at each other and people getting canceled, and I don't even really fully understand how to use Twitter.
I don't either. I don't understand how it works. I have a Twitter account and I literally follow nobody.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I've used it in years.
It's almost like you get on there and you talk to really yourself, and some other guy's like, yeah, I can get in on this.
Yeah.
That's really
So
about
it's just
it.
people's like inner thoughts clashing with each other.
I guess
Yeah.
so.
That doesn't sound like a good thing to happen.
It's like you take somebody from like Oregon, and then somehow he sees a tweet from some dude in, Alabama.
Yeah.
Of course, they don't think the same.
They don't agree. Then it becomes a big issue. And
Yeah.
people, what really kills me is when like news outlets will use tweets as if that was some kind of like
Yeah, right.
journalistic thing they did.
Per source. Your
Per
source
Yeah.
is like this guy on Twitter.
It's some dude on Twitter
Yeah.
who made an 80-character tweet while he was taking a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, you got journalists who are like traveling overseas and like putting their lives in danger and like taking pictures and stuff.
Yeah, people who like actually were like documenting the war.
But how brave was it of that guy to tweet that, though?
Yeah, super brave. Speaking of brave, Caitlyn Jenner. The look that Wesley just gave me, he was like, please be careful. So Cameo, what we were talking about earlier, Caitlyn Jenner's on there.
But like, can you tell the story about the time you killed those two people?
Yeah. And it cost $2,000 to
Get the fuck
to
out of
get
here.
a 13-second video from her.
The fuck out of here.
$2,000 There's, I was scrolling through there and I was like, and for anybody that doesn't know, Cameo is this website you can go to and you can get personalized shout outs and messages and stuff from different celebrities. But it's not like OnlyFans or anything like that. It's not porn. But
Like
know
say
if I wanna-
something and then they whip their dick out.
yeah,
You're like, ah!
oh, I didn't want to see that.
I don't know if I'd want to see Caitlyn Jenner porn anyway.
Yeah. Give it a couple years because OnlyFans is apparently the most empowering thing that women have at their disposal, so everybody's got one. But yeah, so $2,000. Who the fuck is paying that?
Yeah.
And I was scrolling through some, and like they have it broken down by categories. So like you have like characters from The Office.
Yeah.
And not everybody's on there. Like Steve Carell's not on there. John Krasinski's not on there. But you do have characters like Kevin. You can get a video from Kevin or David Wallace or Meredith. And Toby's on there. And for one of Toby's videos, he has the most expensive one. It's like $500. I'm like, do you not? I mean, come on, let's be honest here, Toby.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna pay $500 for this.
Yeah. Like, if you, like, is it that you got pressured into doing it and you really don't want to do it?
So you just set the price super high. I don't know. I guess because if you were like a really famous like A-list actor,
No.
you wouldn't be putting them up there for like $60
no.
because then you'd have just tons of requests all the time. You'd
Yeah.
be constantly hounded. So maybe the price point is to just keep people away.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he did, but I think Caitlyn Jenner really does think that she's worth $2,000 per video. I would want to get one from her and have her say "Buckle up, Buckaroo," like from South Park.
She kept running people over.
It's like while she's driving, she's recording it.
What in South Park where she's like, buckle up, buckaroo.
Yeah, she ran over that
ran
people.
over a bunch of people. So she was driving around Mr. Garrison while he was campaigning.
I think Matthew Broderick killed some people in Ireland.
I wouldn't doubt it.
He went over there for a vacation and ran over some people, I'm pretty sure.
Are you talking about the guy from Ferris Bueller?
Yeah, that one. Matthew Broderick. Hi, Matthew Broderick.
You know,
That
he's
guy.
the same one that does Simba's voice in The Lion King.
Yep. Yeah, that is him.
That's an odd choice.
I'm pretty sure that's not libel or slander for me to say that. That is a fact. He
Yeah.
did. He went to Ireland, and when he left, 2 people were dead. That is that was the exchange.
That did happen.
That did happen.
Yeah. He arrived, they had +1. When he left, they had -2.
Dennis Rodman is on there.
He's an interesting guy.
I want to get him to do one by look. Next time you go to North Korea, get Kim Jong-un on this thing.
Yeah.
I want a video from him. Just to see if he'll do it.
Didn't he like die and come back to life? Kim Jong-un.
What?
Like the whole like
Oh, that whole they believe like it's the same person over and over again.
Oh, I thought you said didn't he die and come back to life, like that was a thing that happened.
So that, like, I'm pretty sure they, announced that he was dead.
Did they?
And then like 20 seconds later, they're like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm just kidding."
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
When they said he was like sick and everything.
Yeah. They said that he died. I don't know if they said that he died, but they were pretty sure.
Yeah, was it they said he got coronavirus or something like that, and then they said that he had died, and that his sister was taking over or something like that.
Yeah, there was something about his sister.
And then he like came out and he was like, I found out who the real supporters are.
Oh, it was a whole.
Yeah, it was like to out any rats.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, they believe that he doesn't poop or pee, so
Well.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, you imagine being over there and be like, "This is bullshit." Then he like dies. You're like, "Fuck yeah!" And they're like, "He's not dead." You're like, "Oh no!"
Oh, whoops. Well, his was it Kim Jong Il was his dad?
Yes.
I remember when he died in 2012, 13, something like that. They were making people stand in the street and cry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like at gunpoint. Cry for this man.
That's so crazy.
It is fucking wild.
That's such a fucking nutty place.
It is. It's like Bizarro Land. Like it doesn't seem like it could really exist. It's just that's the lives that they live over there.
Like if it wasn't for the fact that I knew that it was real, if somebody like if you made it into a movie, people would probably laugh because
it's so outlandish.
It's like a dark comedy or whatever, and it's like, no, this is a real place.
Speaking of seeing who the real supporters are, I learned about this thing the other day called Rocco's Basilisk. It's like a thought experiment, I guess you could say.
I was about to say, isn't the basilisk like in Harry Potter?
Yeah, well, yeah. But the idea is, say in the future, we create an AI, the super intelligent AI, and we ask it to optimize our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing it does is it decides to
Kill everyone.
It decides to subject everybody who didn't help it come into being.
No.
To subject all those people to an eternity of torture. That's the first thing it does.
No.
And it was like, now that I've told you about this thing, it can it's so smart, it's so intelligent that it can recreate from the beginning of time to the present day.
No.
And it can simulate everything exactly how it happened in its mind in a fraction of a second. So it would know whether or not you did anything to help it come to fruition.
No.
So let's say 20 years from now, if it existed, then it would know that us in this room or whatever,
No.
anybody that has heard the podcast,
Uh-huh.
it would know whether or not they did. So it's like, would you not then, just in case it ever came to be, would you not advocate for its creation?
I would advocate for the death of its creator.
I just they and I'm sure that I butchered that whole thing or whatever, but like it was the idea was, if there's a possibility that it could exist, and you
sounds
not
like you laying in bed scaring yourself.
yeah, it was exactly what it is. Yeah, it's just a thing. yeah, it's just the they call it a thought experiment or whatever. I just thought that was really interesting. I don't think we would ever create an AI that would do that. I feel like if we did create an AI,
create an AI, and then the AI would do that.
well, we would probably have
not necessarily to do that, but
we would probably put some kind of shackles or something on it.
you would hope.
Yeah, some kind of kill switch.
You turn to look like iRobot.
Unless it's
With
probably
Will
like
Smith.
some dude from like Yugoslavia. It's like,
It was like what you do is you
it's like some AI, and like it's like Avatar is like wearing a tracksuit, it's like squatting. So I heard that you did not want me to be alive.
You did not want me to be.
Got bright orange Adidas jumpsuit.
Now, what you do is you build the AI, and you don't give it internet connection, and it only has a 3-foot long extension cord. So if it goes too far, it just unplugs itself.
Yeah, how shitty would that be? Be like some Slav AI that's like killing everybody.
For all the world's vodka. You ever see that video where that guy, it's some Russian guy. I don't know. Look, anything east of Germany, it's all Russia to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
So I don't know where he's from or where he actually is.
Yeah, all the avias and all that stuff.
But they hand him like a bottle of vodka, like this huge bottle of vodka, and he just fucking downs the whole thing. And it's like, I get that he can do that.
Yeah.
But there's no way his body, he had to have thrown that up. There's no way his body could have handled that. It would have just killed him.
Maybe from just years of practice.
Well, even then, just the sheer amount of alcohol in his body, you would think it would just kill him outright because it's poison.
It's such an interesting place over there. Like, they're Europeans, but they're not really Europeans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're outsiders.
Yeah.
They're just like, and they look like us.
Yeah.
But they're not like
But
us.
you know they're not us.
Yeah, they're like bizarro Americans. Like they're from a different plane of existence or something. Like they're unknowable.
I know. I just always thought that like Russia is like. I don't know. I've always thought that it was interesting because like it's right next to like all the European countries, but like they don't teach us anything about like their history or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like apparently like the czars were like a big fucking deal at one point. But
was it like a royal family?
Yeah, it was a royal family. And it's like, but nobody talks about it. Like, and the fact that like you have like English and like all these Latin languages that are around that area, and then you have Russian.
Yeah, what did it derive from?
Yeah, where'd that come from?
Yeah, because even their alphabet
Yeah.
is like, you got like a backwards R.
Yeah.
And then you've got something that doesn't look like anything else.
Yeah, what did they call that? It's like,
I have no idea.
There's a particular name for it. I don't remember what it's like something alphabet. It's like, it's not phonetic. It's fuck, I can't remember. But
is it supposed to be like, because I would assume that it works the same way our alphabet does. Like each letter makes a sound and you put them all together.
no.
Rather than like, Oriental languages where like you have characters that mean things.
I think so.
Derive context from it.
I've done about 15 minutes of Russian on Duolingo.
Oh, yeah?
So I think I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever want to go there or interact with them because they freak me out. They're just so strange.
I think it would be easier.
And it's not racist for me to say that because they're white.
Yeah.
So nobody crawl up my ass about it.
It would be. I think it'd be more interesting. It would be easier if you were fluent in Russian. That way you could actually communicate.
Well, yeah,
with
so
them.
you could talk to them.
I feel like that'd be even more terrifying because you can hear what they're saying.
Yeah, now you know what they really are, what they're really about.
They're like, we're gonna go drink vodka and shoot AK-47s.
Yeah. The weird thing about it is because they share that same landmass with all the other European nations, but they're so different. Like, French to German to Italy, it's all they're all different.
Yeah.
But they're kind of they have some similarities.
Yeah.
As soon as you cross that border on the east side there, what the fuck are these people all about?
No.
And it's not like they were living on an island like Japan was. So Japan's been like, away from everybody, doing their own thing on this little island.
No, it's not like you can't just walk to Russia.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can just
People
go.
did it all the time
you
back
can
in the day.
Go over there.
Yeah.
Just those people. It was just like, it seems like from the beginning of time, they're like, just don't even, just those people. Yeah. They got some weird language.
Yeah, they got some weird stuff going on over there.
They drink fermented potato juice. I just don't go over there.
The villains are weird.
Yeah.
You say their villains are weird?
I said the buildings.
Oh, their buildings are weird. Oh, yeah. They have like those, like, spirally, like the Kremlin.
Yeah, the
like
Kremlin.
The spirally tower with like the ball on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like a gingerbread house.
Yeah. Yeah, it does look like a gingerbread house. It's like you just hear the Tetris theme song whenever you look at it.
Was Tetris invented by Russians?
Maybe. What? I'm thinking there is some link to Russia.
There'd have to be, right?
Maybe it's just the music sounds like Russian music.
There'd have to be, because I think, isn't it like at the end of like the Tetris, like if you beat the levels or whatever, you take off in like a rocket ship or something like that? It looks like a Russian rocket ship.
What's a Russian rocket ship look like? One of the towers from the Kremlin?
Yeah, it had like the
booster on the end.
Yeah, pretty much. And that was like what, back in like the set, like early 80s, 70s when that came out?
Yeah, you can beat Tetris.
I thought it was just like a
think
never
so.
ending.
Yeah.
Just
I'm pretty certain that like
I thought it was just like it goes to level whatever.
I'm pretty certain like at the end of it or whatever, like there's like a rocket ship that takes off.
There's probably a version that is that way.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't really know much about classic Tetris. I know that if you hold the B button while the game starts off, you get an alternate song.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's not as good as the first one.
No.
It's like the B track,
No.
the B side of the Tetris album.
play worse music while I play Tetris.
Worst music while playing a shitty game. You know that Tetris has the most games ever released in the quote unquote series.
Really?
Yeah, there's like over
How?
400 versions of Tetris.
How?
How's that even a series?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
need
don't know.
one version of Tetris. Like that's it. That's
Yeah.
all the versions you need.
Nintendo released a version of Tetris that was a battle royale. But, oh yeah, that's a real thing. That came out 2 years ago, I think it was. It was called Tetris 99,
Tetris 90.
and it's just you playing
versus
Tetris.
99
Yeah, it's
people.
you versus 99 other people playing Tetris all at the same time. Yeah, and somehow one of you wins. I don't know.
It's like Tetris blocks with guns.
Yeah.
Like, damn it, I'm the tall, skinny one.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to remember because they did the same thing with Mario too. They made a Mario battle royale
Oh, God.
for like his 35th anniversary. As a matter of fact, I think it was called Mario 35, and it was you playing through Super Mario, like the first Super Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the whole game, and it's you playing it, and there's 34 other people playing,
Oh.
and like it was like if you kill an enemy in your game, you can send it to another person's game.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's how that worked. But again, that's that fucking battle royale thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty interesting take on it, or
No.
whatever. But at the same time, it's like
There's
Jesus
like
Christ,
one dude
can we-
that everybody fucking can't
yeah,
stand.
it's like
Load
can we
them up.
move past this, please?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get the whole battle royale thing. It's not really my deal.
Well, it's just like playing Fortnite was. The gameplay loop was like so. I had more fun when I would be playing like say like I had like a 10 match, and a 10 match long. I played 10 matches or whatever, and like in each of those matches I was like one of the first 20 people to die, because then I could hop back into a new game or whatever.
Yeah.
But you get in like these matches where like you're doing really well and you've invested a lot of time into this match and you're like, okay, maybe I'll win or whatever. And then some stupid shit happens, like you fall off a cliff or you get sniped in the head from 5 miles away from somebody who's way fucking better than you.
No.
See, that's the thing though, right? All the shitty people are going to die first, and then at the end it's all the good players.
No.
Well, if you accidentally made it to the end and you're a shitty player, what chance do you have?
No.
It's like snuck in.
That's
Yeah.
like the first time I ever played it was like years after it had released, And like the first match I went in, I had no fucking clue what I was doing. I was like off on my own, like trying to figure out how to fire the guns and throw grenades and shit. And then I was like, how do you build things? And so I was like slowly just inching towards the inside because I was like trying to stay ahead of like the storm or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like I was like off on my own doing my own shit. And then, like, all of a sudden, I'm, like, one of the last 3 people. And I was like, I still don't know how to play the game.
Yeah.
Me and Gary used to play it a good bit.
Yeah, we played duos.
That was always...
Aaron was leagues beyond me in Fortnite skill. So I was just constantly getting down. but I was having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember that time we played in that little kid? He, like, thought you were, like, the best player in the world. You remember that?
Yeah, he used to still, like... Because I added him on Xbox. Then, like, I'd be playing, like, Call of Duty or some shit.
No.
And he would send me an invite. This was, like, 3 years ago. And at least, like, once a month, I'll get, like, a party invite from him. I'm like, dude.
No. He was, like, 7. He was a little kid.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
I miss the old Xbox days. 360.
Oh, the
Modern Warfare 2.
Like,
Modern Warfare 2
Halo 2.
Those lobbies. Oh, my God.
Sometimes I'll get on YouTube and I'll just look up Modern Warfare 2 lobbies just so I can, like, listen to, like...
Just, like, relive it.
Yeah, relive it.
Are you, like, shouting at your phone, too? Like, saying awful shit, too? People would say just the worst. Most wretched, vile things to each other. And then I guess that was part of the fun.
Yeah. Those lobbies made me laugh so hard because people would just fucking go in.
Yeah. Well, me and you were playing something one time. I mean, it might have been Halo, like a Halo 3 lobby or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we loaded in, and don't worry, I'll censor what I'm about to say. But we loaded in.
Talking about when Mom was in the room?
No.
I think a different time.
I think it was just me and you. But we loaded into the lobby or whatever, and it was like it was a big team battle. So I think it was 16 players total.
Yeah.
So there's 16 people in the lobby, and it's dead quiet. Nobody's really saying anything. All of a sudden, this one guy goes. He goes, the only thing worse than a is a.
And then I'm sure everybody went fucking ape shit.
It was just like that. Just everybody just like uproarious, just like shouting and screaming. It's like, you ever seen that meme where like it's like somebody walks into like a cafeteria and they say something like everybody starts fighting?
Yeah.
That was exactly what it was like.
I remember I think I was watching you play. It's probably Halo 2. And then it was when Mom was in the room with us. And she was like, something like, is this like a nice game? Or like something along those lines of like, is there bad language in this game?
Yeah.
Well, he's in an Xbox Live game.
Yeah, what do you
And like as soon as you join into it.
I know what you're yeah, go ahead.
I can't remember what the guy says. But Gary's like, hey man, watch your mouth. And this guy's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And then Mom's like shooting daggers at me. I'm like, it was that guy. It wasn't the game. It was the other guy on the other side of the world. It wasn't me.
And I also went so far as to tell him to watch his mouth, knowing what the response would be.
Yeah.
Dude,
I was just trying to save face with Mom when I said that.
Could you imagine getting to a Modern Warfare 2 lobby and telling some guy to watch his mouth?
I think all the attention would turn on you.
Yeah, then everybody was like, what's your mouth?
That kind of reminded me of this one time me and Aaron went to Taco Bell.
Oh.
And there was also that time where the lady said, welcome to Taco Bell. Aaron just leans over me in the car and goes, beef. But we had ordered something, and we got around to the window or whatever, and the woman goes, do you want any sauces? And Aaron was just kind of sitting there like on his phone.
Yeah.
He's not really paying attention. And I was like, yeah. I was like, take Diablo sauce or whatever. And Aaron just all of a sudden just starts going, yeah, you better put some sauce in that fucking bag, you fat bitch, stupid bitch, ugly bitch, dumb bitch. He's just doing that. And the window's open.
Yeah.
And she's standing right
like,
there.
You have to forgive my brother. He has Tourette's.
I looked at Aaron. I'm like in between this. I'm like,
Please don't spit in our food.
And then Aaron kind of like looked up for a second, and he was like, "Oh." He wasn't saying it. He was just saying stuff.
Yeah.
He didn't, he wasn't like trying to be mean or anything.
Just making noise.
He was just making noise. And that woman, I know she heard every bit of it.
She's like, I work at Taco Bell. I don't
have to deal with this
I
shit.
don't have to deal with this shit. Here's your fucking tacos, you piece of shit.
I remember we were actually going to Taco Bell one time. It was me and you. And you stopped at Wendy's and got a snack first.
I remember that.
Oh, good.
Well, Taco Bell didn't have everything I wanted. Aaron was like, "What are you doing?" You remember when me and you we were going down to Jacksonville for Welcome to Rockville.
Yeah.
And we're kind of hungry. We should stop and get something to eat. And we were both like, yeah, let's just wait until we get down the road a little bit. We made it all the way to Douglasville and went to Seabreeze.
How did you not fall asleep?
It was rough.
The worst was when we went to Jacksonville and we stopped at fucking Buckner's.
Oh yeah, that's not a good move.
I remember when we took you to Buckner's for the
Yeah,
first
that
time.
hurt.
And you were like laying on the ride back home. You were like laying in the floor of the car,
Yeah.
like rolling in pain.
That's like the only time I've ever been in like massive physical pain because I ate too much food.
It was like your first day back from college,
Yeah.
so you were used to eating just like college food,
Yeah.
which was like saltine crackers and
Yeah.
Just
water.
Like pack of bread that said white.
Yeah.
Yeah. It had like a barcode on it.
Yeah. A lot of sandwiches. That and cakes. I was big on cakes.
Yeah. Was that in Auburn?
Yeah.
That was where you got burgled.
Yeah, burgled. Yes, I was burgled.
Didn't they steal the food in your pantry?
Yeah, they did. They stole.
Who steals the food out of somebody's?
They
stole his cakes.
Yeah.
They stole my Xbox. They stole your Wii. They stole.
You took my Wii?
Yeah, remember because I went and got you another Wii.
I don't remember.
Because I had borrowed the Wii for some reason.
The truth comes out.
Yeah. They stole my laptop. They stole all of the games.
Didn't they steal like your state championship ring or something?
Yeah, they
which
stole-
would have no value to
Yeah.
them. It's just
Yeah, they stole my state championship ring, and they stole.
Did they take a pillow or some shit?
Ew, that's gross. I
they
wouldn't
took-
take a
they
pillow.
I think they took the pillowcase off so they could put all the shit in it.
Oh.
And those
Like
jackasses
somebody's yellow brown pillow.
They like laid everything out like on the couch, like they were like just going through shit.
Like, I'll take this. And
then those fuckers took all my candy. They took all my candy and all the fucking coins that were in my coin jar.
Good thing you
I
had
had,
that.
I had like $75 in there.
Good thing you had that ginormous fucking TV.
Yeah, I was about to say they didn't take that.
Yeah, they
fucking
didn't
thing.
take that. And then
That thing's like full of concrete.
yeah,
That is the heaviest fucking thing in the world.
jokes on them because they took my hair clippers. So listen to me, you asshole, if you're out there. I hope you use that on the top of your fucking head. You fucking jackass.
Yeah, I didn't use it for my face. I'll just
He's like
say
shaving his mustache with it.
He's like,
that. Was that the apartment that Allison said that one was haunted?
yeah, so there's a few stories. So the way the apartment was set up, it was super tiny, so you like walked in, well, y'all were there. And there was like the little living room area, and then next to it was like a kitchen, and there was like a door that separated it, and there was a bedroom with an attached bathroom. Mm-hmm. And like the first like week or so that I was there, like I'd be like sitting there like watching TV or like on the off chance I was actually studying.
Yeah.
Like there was like this door that was right next to the kitchen that where like the hot water heater and everything was.
Yeah.
But there was like a grate on the bottom of it. And I'd be sitting there, and it sounded like somebody would take their finger and go like that and like run it down the grate.
Really?
And I was like, that's fucking weird. So like I went over and like opened it up. There's like nothing in there.
Of course.
Yeah, and I was like, that's strange. And I like shut the door and like sat back down, and I'd hear it like 2 or 3 more times, and I was like, nah, fuck it, I don't really. And then like the first night that I was there, that door that separated the living room to the bedroom, I closed it and locked it because it's my first night being away from home, like living on my own and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I woke up and the door is wide open.
Oh, no.
And then, like, later on, like, Allison told me, like, she was sitting on the couch and, like, where the fridge was at, the fridge was, like, it was facing in towards the kitchen, but it was on the other side, so you couldn't see it. Mm-hmm. But you could see when, like, somebody would open it because the light would come on.
Yeah.
And Allison said she was sitting there on the couch and she saw the light from the
fridge.
From the fridge.
Wow. Did she like hear the fridge open or just?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, there are things like that you can't really explain. Like you try to explain some of it away, like okay, like that happened because of this or whatever. But I remember, like at our old house, the not the log cabin, but the other one. That house is haunted. I'm sorry, but it is.
Well, probably.
Yeah. There was all kinds of scary shit happened at that house.
Yeah.
And like I remember very specifically, like the scariest thing that ever happened in that house was, so like, you know, like anybody who's ever lived in a 2-story house, you can tell who's coming up the stairs based off like, you know, the speed of the steps and just the sound that people like. I knew who was coming upstairs because I knew it was Aaron coming up the stairs because his ankles popped all the time.
Yeah.
And I remember it was Mom. Well, you couldn't hear Mom come up the stairs.
No.
Mom would just appear.
I don't know how she did that
Yeah,
either.
yeah. And then Dad, you know, he had like heavy footsteps or whatever. But I was laying in bed, and I don't think either of you were home at the time. But so when you go up the stairs, you go up, and then there's a landing, and you turn right, and you go up the stairs again. So then when you get to the top of the stairs, you're at this hallway, and immediately on the left is Wesley's room. And then down the hallway to the right, at the end of the hallway, is my room. Mm-hmm. And Aaron's room kind of came off the side there. But if you got to the top of the stairs and looked right, at the time where my bed was, if I was in bed, you could just see me in bed.
Yeah.
If my door was open. So I was laying in bed, and I woke up. I was pretty sure I was asleep, and I woke up, and I was laying with my back towards my door. Mm-hmm. So if somebody's standing at the top of the stairs, of course, they look right, they would have saw my back.
Yeah, mistake number 1.
Yeah, mistake number 1. So I woke up.
Yeah, but you didn't put your head under the blanket. That protects you.
Rookie mistake. But I remember hearing somebody coming up the stairs, but I couldn't figure out who it was. Mm-hmm. And I just remember being really fixated on that. I was like, I don't know who that is coming up the stairs. And I heard the footsteps get to the top of the stairs. Mm-hmm. And I just felt like somebody was standing there looking at me.
Yeah.
And I was like paralyzed with fear. I could not move. And I'm like, what the fuck? Who is this?
Yeah.
And I just heard like footsteps coming down the hallway towards my room. And
you just like walk up. You're like,
yeah. Well, as soon as the footsteps got to like my bedroom door, like 5 feet away from me, I flipped around and went, "Oh!" And of course, there's nothing there. Of course, there's not. And I screamed so loud. My room was right above Mom and Dad's room. I screamed so loud that I heard Dad go, "Gary, shut up!"
It wasn't like, "Are you okay?"
No.
It's like, "Shut the fuck up!"
What the fuck are you screaming for?
Nothing was worse than like when I would be like, I was like 7 or 8, and like, well, from our rooms to the kitchen was pretty long, Yeah, like go
It
downstairs.
was a long way, yeah.
Like around the corner, through the living room, through the dining room, into the kitchen.
Yeah.
And like I'd get a drink. Well, now I'm having to shut lights off behind me while I'm coming
I
back
hated
through.
that.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, you'd like sprint through the house, fucking hitting them shit.
Yeah.
You'd miss one. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. You had like down to a pattern, like you're like matrixing through the house, like turning the lights off.
And then you get to the stairs, you just run as fast as you can up the stairs.
Yeah, like you just constantly felt like there was like a fingertip on the back of your neck, like somebody's just reaching out to you.
And my room was like pitch black.
Your room
Yeah,
was
you're all
super
super
fucking dark in there. I don't know why. You had 2 windows.
Yeah, and then you had that weird fucking cubbyhole thing.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, let's go ahead and tell that story.
Oh, are we getting close?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. So, okay. Whose perspective do we need to tell this from? Because all 3 of us were involved in this.
I'll tell my perspective up until the point where the climax happens.
Okay.
So, at the time, our grandfather was still alive, and he had brought our little cousin, over
Blake.
to the house. Blake was there.
Blake was, what, 8?
He'd been
7 or
younger
8?
than that.
He was a little kid.
He'd been little. He was real little. He's real little. Anyway, so Pawpaw used to be into these like B-rated horror films.
Like, it's just awful.
Yeah, it's awful. Just awful. He'd watch them on the Sci-Fi Channel.
He loved them.
He loved them. That was like his most favorite thing. And so like this movie was about these giant rabbits.
Which were just normal-sized rabbits. They were green screened in. Like, yeah.
And they just like did close-ups on the rabbits.
Yeah.
and so these rabbits were like going around eating people.
And, like, destroying the town.
Like destroying the town and everything. And I was like, ugh, I'm not watching this. So I don't know where y'all had gone, or I don't.
It's important to point out that Blake had seen this movie, too.
Yeah.
And it freaked him out.
Yeah.
So he stopped watching it.
Yeah. So y'all had gone somewhere, and I was like walking through the house, and Pawpaw was like, "Where you going, Sugar Bud?" And I was like, I guess I'm gonna go upstairs. And so like I walk up the steps, and I'm like fiddling around in my room, and like I'm not really interested in anything. And I like walk into Aaron's room for some reason, and I see like there's like this little, those like little first act
Accordions.
like accordion, like the instruments and everything. Well, Aaron had like an accordion. And so, like, I pick it up, and I'll let Gary go ahead and tell this. You guys tell the story from here. Anyway, before I start playing the accordion.
So me and Aaron had decided that we were just gonna mess with Blake, and so we were over in that little cubby hole corner of your room.
It was just like a really stupid thing.
I don't know
like,
why that's there.
there's not a good way to get to it. You had to like, climb over a counter.
Yeah, so the best way to explain it is like you walk into Aaron's room and like you have the corner of his room, but one wall kind of comes out a little bit, for like 3 feet, and then there's a counter on the other side that comes out, so you have like this square hole just kind of over in the corner.
It's very
of the room.
odd.
It's very strange.
It's like a little storage
Yeah.
thing over there.
But in that little cubby hole or whatever, there's like a door. I forget what those little doors are called, but you have them in the top floor of your house.
Yeah.
There's a name for them. It's like a little square door, and you put shit in there.
No.
Well, we had taken your rock and roll Elmo from 5 million years ago that didn't make noise anymore, but it still vibrated. And we put it in the, we put it up against the door in there or whatever. And we got Blake over in that corner. We're like, Blake, we got to hide from the rabbits. The rabbits are coming. And he was just like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. He was freaking out. They were like, rabbits are going to get you. The rabbits are going to get you. They're in this little room right here. And the rock and roll Elmo starts going off and just he's like, the rabbits or whatever. All of a sudden, we hear, Rarry, Rarry, Rarry. And me and Aaron did not expect that. So we both went, woo! And it scared the shit out of me and Aaron. And it culminated with scaring Blake because we were scared now. And then Blake like jumps up and screams and scrambles out of this corner of the room. which Wesley didn't expect to happen. So it scared Wesley. So it was just this huge clusterfuck of everybody scaring everyone. It was so perfect. It couldn't have been planned. It's the way it all fell together.
Oh God, that was so funny.
But I'll never forget.
That scared the shit out of me.
I'll never forget the sheer terror that I felt when that accordion started playing, because it just came out of nowhere and it was so loud.
How did you not?
I don't know how we didn't notice you coming to the room.
How did y'all not hear me coming to the room?
We were so focused on freaking out Blake.
Because all I heard was like y'all laughing. I was like, "What the fuck?"
I feel like I asked for a bunch of dumb shit when I was a kid, like for Christmas.
Oh, me too.
Like, asked for a door.
You
I
did
didn't
ask
have one
for
for my
a
room.
door.
I asked for a door.
Wesley
Like a
asked
door.
for bananas.
Yeah, I asked for
A bundle of bananas.
It's like, yeah, okay. I got bananas.
I got an accordion, which I never had any intention of actually learning how to play that.
That was one of the most fun things to play.
Yeah, it just made loud noises.
Yeah.
Of course we loved it.
One of my favorite things to talk about is I don't think it was for Christmas, but I had like this ladybug house.
Oh,
it's
I
like-
remember that.
Kim gave us those.
Yeah.
Kimbo.
And I don't know where the fuck I found all these ladybugs at, but there was like a solid 200.
No, it was like 2,000. It was like way
There's
too
a
many
lot of
ladybugs.
in there.
And I like went outside, and I guess I was like trying to get more of them. I came back in, I set it on the stairs going up to our rooms.
Yeah.
I guess it popped open when I did that. Well, all these ladybugs came out, went upstairs, went straight to fucking Gary's room.
It was like a fucking plague of ladybugs. It was like a thick fog of ladybugs.
It would be like 6 years later, and there's still like a couple ladybugs flying around there.
I had fucking ladybugs in my room till the day I moved out. And they loved that one window that like faced like towards the front of the neighborhood. I guess because a lot of sun went right there.
You can't even open it because then a wasp would come in or something.
Yeah. It was just full of fucking ladybugs all the time. It was.
You remember that time that we went up there and we saw that wasp and we're like, oh, haha, we'll spray him with the super soaker.
The super soaker? Yeah,
And
that
then
one
we
wasp.
looked up under there and there's that big ass wasp nest.
Yeah, under the valance.
And then was it me and you or was it me and Aaron that had to go over to Mama's and kill that bat?
I think it was you and Aaron. And y'all went over there with baseball bats.
It was baseball.
And we're just swinging them around in Mama's house trying to kill this fucking bat.
That time we tried to kill that rat or that mouse in Wes's old room. we were like sitting after you like moved out. We just turned that into like a fuck around room.
Yeah. A rumpus room.
Well, we were sitting on this like couch, and we were playing video games or something, and we saw this mouse like a corner of our like run across the fucking floor.
Yeah.
So we like got up, shut the door, and trapped him in there with us.
Yeah.
And like
It was on.
Gary grabbed a BB gun, which had no BBs in it. It was just swinging the BB gun at it. I can't remember what I picked. It was like just like a piece of wood. And like we ran around in this room for 5 minutes, like swinging at this fucking mouse. Never hit it.
Never once came close.
Gary like holding the BB gun by the barrel, and swung it, hit it on the floor, and broke it.
Yes. Smashed the buttstock off the end of the BB gun.
Talking about that black BB gun?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
It's like a sawed-off pistol. Now it's like a pistol grip BB gun now.
And the mouse like somehow got under the door and was like trying to get out. I just remember I was sitting there watching him get out, and I could see his tail, and I had that piece of wood. I just smashed him on his tail with it.
He ended up getting away. It was like because they had cut down all those trees, in the neighborhood, so like all the rodents just went into our neighborhood. So we were having a problem with mice.
Yeah.
And we were just so fucking over it. We were just like, get him, get that motherfucker.
Imagine from like the mouse perspective.
Oh yeah, it must have been horrifying. It must have been the longest 5 minutes of his life. Because we were like,
it sounds like that movie Mouse Hunt.
yeah, we were like clambering to kill this mouse, like knocking shit over. Like we were full effort, everything we did to get this mouse.
This is like a comedy of errors.
Yeah.
Like some type of like Three Stooges skit.
Yeah. You remember? So you remember your leopard, your gecko, Dave?
Yeah.
So when you moved out, you left Dave behind.
Yeah.
In his little terrarium
to die.
And well, I think he assumed that we would take care of Dave.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Well, what happened was Dave's terrarium was between the wall and the couch. And so when you look into your room, you couldn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
You could, it was over there. You just couldn't see it. And we never went in there.
No.
That was before we turned it into the rumpus room.
Yeah.
The mouse torture chamber. And like 5 years go by.
Poor guy.
And somebody went in there and was like, oh my God, Dave. And his cage was full of spider webs. Or his terrarium was full of spider webs. And he was still alive. He had been surviving off spiders that whole time. Because I couldn't fucking believe it. You remember going in there and be like, oh my God, this motherfucker's still alive?
Yeah, but the thing is, we like started giving him crickets again. And then he died.
Yeah, he died as soon as he got crickets. We're like, well, I guess we could have just kept leaving him to his own devices, eating spiders. Yeah.
Oh, man.
But, well, I think that's about all we got time for today. Aaron, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
letting
me come on.
I hope that you will come. What are you doing over there?
I sneezed.
Oh.
No, sorry, I didn't want to sneeze into the mic.
You're about to puke.
No, sorry, my sinuses. It's allergy season.
But yeah, anytime you want to come back on, just let us know.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. You gonna be all right?
Probably not.
I wanted to say thank you everybody for listening. Sorry that it was kind of a long break between 7 and 8 there. Wesley's still sneezing.
It's like the sound Paisley makes out before she throws up.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like that.
Sorry, I'm trying not to sneeze into the mic. Okay, I think I'm okay now.
Wesley, any final thoughts? Any final statements?
I've been thinking that we should maybe start streaming some of the episodes. Maybe.
Yeah.
That might be a good idea. We can do it later in the day, maybe around like lunchtime or something,
We
like
can
on
do
a
that.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Give people an opportunity to kind of tune in. I figured we maybe could do it like on Twitch or do it on like YouTube or something like that. That'd be easy to do. I was also thinking,
We need to get our YouTube channel up.
Yeah.
and running.
that or we could set aside some time to maybe like stream on Twitch or something like that. Maybe just play games. Give people who are actually part of the community an opportunity to converse with us.
Yeah, that'd
It
be
probably
fun.
just end up being just us, but
It's just an excuse to play games
Yeah.
more than anything else.
yeah, I got some ideas and stuff that like maybe doing like a like take a month and like maybe like read through like a book that we both think might be good.
Yeah.
And then we can do like an episode like on
Give like a
what
review.
we read. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Nothing like serious. Maybe like a funny autobiography or
Yeah.
something like that. Like Ozzy's autobiography is really good.
Yeah.
Y'all
We could
don't
do that
read
one.
like Gone with the Wind or anything?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Fuck that fucking book.
But I thought that might be some interesting things that we could do in the future.
Yeah.
So, but yes, Aaron, please come back.
Yeah, it was fun. We liked
I
having
will.
you.
Got me a new lawnmower, so
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
about to go cut some grass.
Yeah. It's interesting how the older you get, the more like things around the house you're like, ooh.
Yeah, ooh.
Like I went and bought new
lawnmower.
outlets the other day. I'm like, those are going to be real nice. I'm like, oh my God, what have I become?
Yeah, but y'all got to come check out the new house.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Get it all fixed up. I'll probably have like a bonfire or something.
Are
over
you
there.
still planning on getting a goat?
Planning on getting a few goats and chickens?
Just take care of the yard?
Well, there's like
Yard
one.
goats?
There's like a couple acres of it. That's,
Are you just going to like get a
fenced
goat off
in.
Facebook Marketplace? Or?
Well, the guy beside me does sheep, and he's like, "If you want some sheep," he's like, "You
I
know,
don't
buy
want
them off
sheep.
me."
Like, I
Have
got
to
to shear them.
Yeah.
Well, the thing was, he was like, "The sheep I have are like hair sheep or some shit." And I mean, you still got to brush them out.
No.
But
Hair
I
sheep.
saw his sheep yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, those are just wool sheep.
Yeah, that's
that
just
you cut like shit.
He's like over there with like a brush.
He's like, this just isn't working. He's like trying to comb. He's like, sheep's like, ah!
Yeah, but I'm gonna get some goats and chickens and I don't know, just have shitty Wi-Fi from now on.
Yeah,
There you go.
HughesNet.
he got that satellite internet.
Oh yeah, until old Elon gets done with what is it? Starlink.
Starlink.
Yeah.
It sounds like something from fucking Space Trek.
Yeah, I know, right?
Wait, Star Trek.
Yeah, Space Trek.
My bad.
Space Trek. That sounds like a shitty offshoot. Captain Burke. Colonel Burke.
Colonel Captain Crunch. Well, thanks again, everybody, for listening. Make sure you leave us a review and a rating on whatever podcast platform you're listening to. Share the podcast with your friends if you enjoy it. You can also contact us at thickboypodcast@gmail.com. If you haven't already, make sure to follow us on Facebook. I'm trying to be a little bit more active on there. I just posted shit posting at this point. But I like it, so.
Yeah, we should really do like a best of like YouTube videos that we like.
I was, thinking of putting together a playlist or whatever.
Yeah.
Because we have tons of videos that we like to talk about. Also, one of our listeners, Steven, shout out to Steven, suggested we do Cringe Talk of the Week.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is a fantastic idea because I love tearing apart shit like that.
Yeah. If anybody has like ideas on what we can do for the podcast, let
video
us know.
submissions, anything like that,
let us know.
So we'll have some good stuff to talk about in the coming weeks, next couple episodes.
Yeah, maybe we'll stream some Fortnite and
and
floss.
We'll do the floss.
Yeah, we'll do the floss.
Well, all right, everybody. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
See you.